Hi, I am Rebecca Eve, and recently I've been made aware that some activists on and off college and university campuses are trying to convince students that they are victims just because of their gender, with a great emphasis on women, that hundreds of women are sexually assaulted, including rape, every year, and the only way to prevent this or protect them is through our federal government mandating biased campus tribunals, as if mock court proceedings evaluating complaints will prevent or protect anyone from sexual assault. I'm here to tell you that you can protect yourself from sexual assault while in college, that you do not have to be a victim, and you don't have to rely solely on college administrators or federal agencies for protection. If your school has a good security department and you are reasonably intelligent, care about your own safety, and are willing to take responsibility for yourself, you should be able to avoid a sexual assault. I have spent over 10 years on 5 different college campuses, one of which was in a large city, as a student, research assistant, or adjunct professor, and I was never raped, sexually assaulted, or harassed. I have 3 sisters, 2 nieces, and numerous friends who have spent 4 or more years on one or more college campus without ever being raped, sexually assaulted, or harassed. And we all managed to do this by having the following in common. First, we took full responsibility for our own decisions and behaviors and understood that a bad choice could result in a bad outcome. Secondly, we cared about our own safety and understood that all people have the propensity to do good or bad things, and it may be easier for some people to gravitate towards bad actions than good ones, so always be a little cautious around people you don't know very well. And lastly, we followed some basic rules that put our safety first, which I've outlined here for you. First rule, don't drink alcohol until you are of legal age to do so and know how it will affect you. In other words, know what your limit is, or basically, how much you can consume before you lose all common sense. Alcohol is probably the most dangerous non-prescription drug in our society. It decreases your inhibitions and impairs your judgments, rendering you highly vulnerable to making mistakes that can put you in risky situations. It is estimated that half of all sexual assaults on college campuses involve alcohol consumption by one or both of the participants. Another common problem with drinking is making the decision to engage in sexual activity and then, once sober, feeling remorse about that decision and action. Deciding to drink alcohol, then deciding to consent to sexual activity, and then feeling remorse at some point afterwards is not sexual assault or rape. It's called regret. And regretting something said or done is a common result of getting drunk. Also, very important, don't engage in any level of sexual activity or foreplay with someone who is drunk. Their judgments and perceptions are impaired, and they may be misinterpreting your actions. Rule number 2, take full control of your life and actions and make smart decisions that don't put you in vulnerable positions. My first example, always take one or more trustworthy friends with you to parties, informal social gatherings, and meetings with people you don't know very well. This allows you and your friends to watch out for each other. Second and smart example, don't go to parties where there are, or probably will be, numerous rowdy drunk individuals, especially rowdy drunk young men. And if an energetic party turns into a rowdy drunken brawl, get out of there immediately. Third, an excellent example, use a security escort whenever walking around campus late at night if you are alone. Even if that means having to wait 10 to 15 minutes for the security guard to meet you and then escort you to your destination. Just budget in for the extra time. And lastly, behave in a manner that will attract well-intentioned people to you. For example of what not to do, when at a party or out at a club, don't act too outrageous and flash your breasts or moon someone or do a striptease. This kind of behavior could appeal to someone who may be reckless and disrespectful. Instead, find less provocative ways to get attention if that is what you desire, and you will attract the attention of considerate, respectful people. Lastly, rule number 3. If you were sexually abused or assaulted before you were 18 years old or started college, please seek professional counseling from a well-educated, board-certified mental health professional, not an activist. According to a study published in Psychology of Women Quarterly, you may be more likely to be sexually assaulted, possibly because you may be more likely to engage in risky behaviors such as drinking alcohol. Many campuses have counseling services, and that is a good place to start. There is no shame in pursuing counseling to help with any emotional fallout from such an experience, and the benefits could be immeasurable. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this presentation helpful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.